Eating represents a desireless state. Not desireless because you don't have nothing and you don't want nothing. It's because everything that you could possibly want and need is already there. If money was everywhere and you always had money, and you did not have a polarity of a world without money, or the fact that there's people that didn't have money, you would never desire to have money. If food was there and it was always there, and you didn't have the perspective that there's people that's starving, you would never desire food. If peace was there and you never had a perspective that another person didn't have peace, you would never desire peace, because you are peace. You don't understand what I'm saying? So it's that understanding that that polarity is essentially the thing that gets you kicked out. Because then you begin to start having desires. And once those desires kick in, a lot of the times it's kicking in because now you're seeing a sense of lack. Once you start feeling that sense of lack, now there's certain aspects of yourself that begins to manifest. Whether that's an insecurity, whether that's a shame. You know, if you look into the original story in the book, they talked about how after they had this first desire, it brought about shame. And it brought about a lot of other things. Now, all of a sudden, they're existing in this world of polarity. That's why it's called the original sin. Because of this polarity. So now everyone else that's going to be born is going to be born in polarity. Now you're going to know the difference. Now you're going to have a desire. Now you're going to know what it feels like to be on each side of the spectrum. When originally it was never meant for you ever to know anything other than what you were and what you had. There was never a need to go anywhere because you was everywhere already. In a way, it's just kind of that understanding in a nutshell. So that's why that's considered the original sin, because it began this polarity, this shadow side. So how did you get back to Eden? How did you get back to Eden? Because we're all born into sin. We're all born into polarity. If Eden represents the presence, the lack of desire, because all you could ever want is already present, then the way you get back to Eden is to go to that place. Go to that place of fulfillment. Stay in fulfillment. Stay in fulfillment. Stay in fulfillment. Because if you stay in fulfillment, yes to say, because I want to give like these different terms to it that's not as simple as light and dark or positive and negative. We can say, what can we say? I guess what we could call it is on and off. Just to make it simple. If you stay on, what you're able to do is nullify and neutralize polarity, because you're choosing to stay on one side of the pole. If you're only going to use the left side, and you only ever use left, the fact that there's an option of right doesn't really matter. I guess we could just call it left and right, because you're staying left the whole time. It doesn't matter if you could ever go right. It don't matter because you're going left. None of it matters because you're always choosing the same exact thing. The fact that you're not going and exploring multiple choices is the thing that keeps you out of polarity. So no matter what's presented, you can decide to receive it or to decline it. No matter what's presented, it doesn't matter. No matter what is presented, you can make a decision whether or not you want to receive it or you want to decline it. Just because somebody passed you alcohol don't mean you got to drink. Just because they try to offer you some weed don't mean you got to smoke. Just because they try to offer you some cocaine don't mean you got to do it. Because, let me tell you why. Because it's always a decision that you have to make for yourself. Don't ever allow anyone to influence you from going from a higher frequency to a lower frequency. If you're at a low frequency and somebody's here to influence you to get into a high vibrational frequency, that's a good influence, and you should probably want that. Because at the end of the day, we all want to be in a good frequency. But if you're in a good frequency and somebody's offering you bad frequency, it's like, baby, I got this alkaline water. I don't want your tap water. You understand? It's that simple. It's really that simple. Like, I don't want the tap water. I got alkaline. You don't have to accept anything that's not in alignment, a vibrational match to what you got going on. That includes thoughts. A lot of the times, thoughts is our biggest enemy. It's not people. It's thought forms. Limiting beliefs. Stresses and worries that's impacting our motion. That's impacting what we do. How we behave. That's not to say have discretion. Because if doing something just for the sake of doing it would put you in a lower frequency, don't do it just because you want to stay authentic. It's like, nah. For example, I'm walking the trail. There's some people walking past me. Whenever they walk past me, I stop talking. Are they influencing me to stop talking? Not necessarily. I mean, yeah. But it's not because they're influencing me to stop talking. I'm making a choice to speak when there's nobody else around. Because I don't want everybody up in my business. This is what it is. I'm understanding that we're connecting here. I don't want you in my business. I don't want after you go down, you're contemplating the words that I'm saying. And now you're having private conversations about the contents of my content. I'd rather not. I'd rather just be free to express myself how I want to express privately. So it's not that they're influencing it, because it don't matter who would have been walking. This is my private choice. This is how I behave. So that's the divine understanding by how to get to Eden, how to stay in Eden. You get to Eden by not allowing a motherfucker to impact your highest good. You feel me? Listen to the angels and the demons. They both got shit for you. If the angels is telling you not take that, starve, but you hungry and you want to eat, what's going to have you in a better frequency? What's going to feel like you have control? Yeah, exactly.